Let me ask you a tough one. You got trucks, trailers, skid steers, saws, lasers, and a yard full of gear, but is it actually earning? Because let me be honest with you. If your equipment just sitting around for the next job, if half your fleet doesn't leave the lot each week, if your trailers see more squirrels than job sites, then what you own is not wealth, it's waste. That's why we use fixed asset turnover. It tells you how much revenue you're generating from the stuff you own. And if that number is low, you're not building a business, you're building a graveyard of expensive tools. So what is fixed asset turnover? Well, we calculate that by taking your revenue divided by your net fixed assets. So let me define that clearly. Your revenue is your total money brought in from your work, but your net fixed assets, that's the book value of the property, plant, and equipment after depreciation. Think your trucks, machinery, building, tools, stuff that lasts more than a year. So if your company brings in $2 million and your net fixed assets are worth $500,000, $2 million divided by $500,000, that's 4.0 fixed asset turnover. That means for every $1 invested in long-term assets, you're generating $4 in revenue. But if your equipment is worth $800,000 and you're doing $1.2 million in revenue, that's 1.5 turnover. You're heavy with gear, but light on input. So let me give you a job site analogy. Let's say you bought a $65,000 truck. If it hauls jobs all week, hits 2 to 3 sites a day, helps you finish profitable work, that's a great investment. But if it's parked 3 days a week and only hauls crew lunches and broken promises, that's not a truck. It's a mobile money pit. Tools are meant to work, not rust. If your assets aren't spinning up revenue, they're weighing down your business. So what is a good fixed asset turnover? Here's the real world read. If it's more than 4.0, that's excellent. You're squeezing strong revenue from your equipment. If it's between 2.5 and 3.9, that's pretty solid. You've got a balance, but room to tighten it up. If you're between 1.5 and 2.4, that's caution area. You're overbuilt or underbooked. If it's under 1.5, you're asset heavy and income light. So it's time to offload or optimize. This isn't about buying less, it's about using it more. So let me give you a real contractor example. Had a client with a yard full of gear. He had 3 pickups, 2 mini excavators, 4 trailers, job boxes galore, $725,000 in fixed assets. But revenue, $1.1 million. That's a turnover of 1.5. So every dollar of assets was only producing $1.50 of revenue. So we sat down and asked the hard questions. What machines actually get used weekly? Which ones haven't moved in 3 months? Are we better off leasing some of this stuff? So we sold some underused gear, restructured his dispatch, and shifted to short-term rentals for specialty work. 12 months later, his net fixed assets were down to $390,000. Revenue, $1.5 million. Fixed asset turnover, 3.85. Less stuff, more money, lower stress. So how do you improve your fixed asset turnover? Number one, I would say audit your asset usage. If it hasn't been used in 30 to 60 days, ask why you own it. Number two, sell or lease underutilized equipment. Free up some capital. Rent what you need on short bursts. Number three, track revenue per machine or asset. Know what's pulling the weight and what's just pulling insurance premiums. Number four, schedule smarter. Assign gear across crews, reduce the downtime, and optimize project sequencing. And number five, invest based on ROI, not emotion. Don't buy gear because it feels good. Buy it because it pays for itself fast. Here's the final word. Fixed asset turnover tells you if your stuff is working for you or if you're working for your stuff. You don't grow by stockpiling trucks. You grow by making every truck, trailer, and tool produce more revenue than it costs. So before you buy another shiny piece of equipment, ask yourself, is what I already own pulling its weight? Because in construction, tools are meant to work, not rust.